Hey guys, Tammy Anderson Ward here from the Energy Healing Conference. I'm super excited to do a practitioner spotlight. She's more than just a practitioner, you guys. This woman that we get to meet today and spotlight has been with me. Oh my gosh. I think she attended all of my conferences that first year, even traveled to California with us. She's just absolutely amazing. I'm going to go ahead and read her class description to start. Her company's name is Freedom BodyWorks, and she's based out of Springville. So let's go ahead and I would love to introduce you to my friend. Okay, this is Tam Pendleton, who's going to be on in just a moment. And this is her class. It's called The Healer's Blueprint, the Champion of Energy Medicine. This is a place where energy medicine and energy psychology merge into a simple, effective method of bringing mind-body balance to our families, our clients, and especially ourselves. Right here and now, learn how to use your gifts and your faith to help you reach new levels of emotional freedom. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring on Tam Pendleton. I don't feel like my bio, like reading it really does her justice, but just a few key points off of it. She is a board certified traditional naturopath. She is the co-owner of a wellness center called Integrating Wellness Center, and that's based out of Springville, Utah. She's a very skilled healing practitioner, somebody that I would go to if I really needed some answers. And I know that she has taught so many practitioners all over the place. So if you know Tam, if you've worked with her, I encourage you guys to definitely give her a shout out in the comments, send her some love, send her some hearts. If you don't know her yet, you will love her once you get to know her. I'm going to go ahead and bring her on now. Thank you so much for being here today with us.
Oh, hello. I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I was just reflecting as I was reading your bio and doing the intro here about how much fun we've had over the years, literally at the Salt Palace in California, up in Idaho, just all over the place.
Phoenix. Yeah.
Phoenix, that's right. We've been all over the place. I would love to just go ahead and turn the time over to you. And I know you have a very special offer for everybody today as well. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, Tammy. Well, I just always ask myself a question, and why am I doing what I do? And the answer that I'm going to ask, the question that I ask to myself is, I'm in tremendous pain, and how do I get out? If you're in tremendous pain and you're trying to get out, that's what started everything for me, looking for the root of pain. And I feel like pain is our friend, whether it's emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever it is. It's a friend because it's an indicator that something just isn't going right. Something's wrong. And the way that I became acquainted with pain was not the funnest way, right? Everybody has their own story, and everybody has their own experiences. And for me, I ended up with about 35 years of clinical depression and suicide ideation throughout that. And I think I had my first depression when I was about 4, just childhood trauma and difficult things. And then my significant depression started when I was about 21, having my children. I started having children then, and I didn't end until I was about 40. And then I still struggled for a long time. So the world of not wanting to live another day is very familiar to me. And it all, for my journey, was just about how to get out. How do I get out of it? How can I live? And because my nature and my personality is about joy and having I love people, I love life, but I couldn't feel it. I was so buried alive in the pain. So it took a long time. I became I've studied lots of modalities, and about 10 years ago, I'm ready to celebrate my 10th year of having the Healer's Blueprint. And it was given to me. I kept asking the universe for help. And I'm a very faith-based person, and I'm looking outward because I know the answers to the pain lie in something bigger than me. And it's not in another person, it's in something bigger than all of us. And so as I looked for those things that could be bigger than all of us, and what the universe and the principles of the universe had to offer, that's kind of when I heard a voice early in the morning, about 4 o'clock, 10 years ago this June, that told me the answers that I was looking for were here. And I was given a download called the Healer's Blueprint. And so I feel like I'm very proud of it, but not because it's, I'm not an owner, I'm a steward. I am a steward of information that is so powerful and so comprehensive. It can change lives just by looking at what energy might be like a wet blanket laying over your joy, like a wet blanket of depression laying over your potential and your hope and your power and your goodness. And all we have to do is kind of uncover the dung pile to find our real selves and what we are capable of doing when we are free to move, to live, to vibrate in the frequency of joy and peace. And I think I want peace more than I want anything else. That wasn't true when I was 30. I didn't want that when I was 30. I didn't want peace. I just wanted a fulfillment. I didn't understand what it looked like until I got older and realized, oh, this is peace. And it was the opposite of what I wanted. I wanted everything to be fun and exciting, but now I want peace. I'm a grandma now. I can have peace if I want it. I just go get it. And so I'm in the restoration business, right? There's a sacred pattern to healing. And I love to share that with my students, is the sacred pattern of healing that I've learned from other practitioners and watching and in my studies and my professional studies. The most powerful sacred pattern that I've seen is when it's time to heal, first we have to recognize, as Dr. Phil would say, you gotta see what's going on before you can fix it. And so recognizing what's happening in our lives is the most powerful thing I think we can do. And so that's what the Healer's Blueprint is about, is helping you recognize. It's about 500 questions at least to help you ask for what's the underlying problem here with the headache I'm having, or whatever is going on with you. It's about recognizing. So we use the blueprint to recognize what's happening. And then the next part of that pattern, first is to recognize, and then is to release, right? And there's all kinds of ways to release. And what I choose to use with the blueprint is a cellular release, because if you're into the world of energy, you know that we're clearing usually from the subconsciousness. Anything that we learned from Dr. Brad and the Emotion Code, he's the one who kind of brought it to the big world, that we're looking for a way to clear the subconsciousness, to release. And so he taught us to do that using the meridians of the body, which is just traditional Chinese medicine. Understanding that your emotions and your illnesses and your difficulties, and from hormones to digestion, have everything to do with your meridian structure, and how we can clear from that meridian. And so with that intention, we're always looking to clear from the systems of the body. And your subconsciousness doesn't lie inside your head. That's not where it is. We believe it lies in the cells of the body, in every cell of your body. So your subconsciousness is living, it's a living being with every little cell you've got. And so if we're going to really clean something up, we clean it from the cells. We clear from a cellular level. Isn't that exciting? We clear what's going on in your body from a cellular level. So that's the unique part of the blueprint. We clean from the cells, and we're looking to recognize and release, and then to restore. And so part of our cellular release structure is making a restoration, calling light from the universe to come and fill that space within that has been so damaged and has had so much pain and so much memory of the pain. So I employ everything from, in my own practice, everything from hypnosis to homeopathy. How to help improve health. But the bottom line, my foundational tool is always the blueprint. It's the thing that I have found to be an incredible champion for the body, a champion for people to find relief. And so we create this for ourselves, right? And without blaming ourselves for our illnesses or our difficulties, we always have a choice on how we feel about what happens to us. You may experience feelings you don't want, but you get a choice on what you implement. and what you are going to take with you. And if you're going to live your life in fear, or if you're going to live your life in love, it's a choice. And I don't think we always think we have a choice, because if we feel something, it must be so. But that's where the great big endocrine system lie is. Just because you think something, it's gonna create a thought, and that thought is going to have an emotional response with it, because you are a human being, and that's how we work. And so what we're trying to accomplish is to learn to recognize those beliefs and those experiences and traumas, and release them, and then restore thinking up a better way to do the job. What's a better way we can communicate with ourselves? So today, and I wonder if it's okay, I would love to do a little session on all of us. So if you want to, participate, great. And if you don't want to, just, shields up. Don't just say shields up and protect yourself if you don't want to experience what's coming, right? And I don't have a way to monitor what your thoughts are on Facebook, but if you could, maybe Tammy could help us if you pop something in the chat that you are particularly concerned about. I am approaching this today. My thoughts were that we need to look at whatever genetic inherited issues are popping through and coming out right now for people. And I thought maybe that would be a really cool thing I could do for you. We could do for each other today. So if there's any inherited beliefs, or if you don't even know if they're inherited, just things that you're struggling with right now that you feel like sharing, you could throw it in the chat box. I'm going to find some things myself using the blueprint. So with the blueprint, we muscle test to determine which area the problems, the difficulty is, the underlying source of the pain. And I think a lot of our pain right now, what I'm looking at is a lot of fear, and it's trumping our love. It's trumping our ability to love and to feel comfortable and to have peace in our lives. And if there's something more than that, feel free to share. Feel free to share. And what I think we need to look at, so I'm just muscle testing along this big chart, and I know it's a little boring, but I'm doing this for you. So hang with me, sisters, okay? And what I think might be going on, or maybe some inherited cycles of fear of creating something good and safe in our lives. Have you have you noticed that I've been working, I work as an alignment coach for entrepreneurs who are looking for ways to kind of stay in their lane really well and function at a high level, being able to give and to receive without fear. That seems to be the number one thing. People are creating new things. And what just popped up for our group here is creative insecurity, a cycle of creative insecurity. And creative insecurity could mean that it's scary to start a new business, that it's scary to start a new relationship, that it's scary to use your glue gun, that it's scary to sew something, make something, do something. It's just about the fear, the insecurity of putting yourself out there to try something new, okay? So, and if that is coming up for us as a group, then that creative insecurity means it's terrifying to move forward. And I don't know if you've ever been terrified of putting yourself out there, but I have. I was given this as a gift, and my charge was, okay, it's a gift, now go. It's not for you, it's for other people, so you got to put yourself out there. I was so terrified. I remember driving to my first meeting with a web designer, and I was so scared. My husband was driving, and I made him pull the car over in the middle of like Fairview, Utah, so I could throw up on the side of the road and sob hysterically for about 40 minutes. That's what happened every time I would do anything. If I would teach an online class, I would have an absolute hysterical meltdown. I was absolutely terrified. And I would rather, honestly, make it through and live, but the thoughts in my head were really negative. Like, I don't want to do this. I'd be scared. I'd be scared of life. Scared of life. So fear of life and living got bigger than, tried to get bigger than my natural ability to move forward. my natural gumption, my natural self. And I was determined to knock it off me, to knock it off being so scared that I couldn't move forward. And so creative insecurity, just honoring those. I feel it. I know it. It's always terrifying. And there's for people who struggle with low self-esteem or other issues is, we didn't feel valued and treasured in our lives. And so sometimes we believe that's true. And that's the big lie. That's the big lie. It is a big lie because you are valued and treasured and needed. So that's that creative insecurity. If that's bothering a significant portion of whoever's going to listen to this class, which is how I work, it's cycling through. It keeps coming and coming and coming, and we're going to address that today. And so, if it's okay with you, let's. Is there any? We're gonna let that go, along with all kinds of other things that are happening and anchoring that in. So we're going to do what I call an ancestral release. So rather than just talk at you, it's more fun for me to have an experience with you. And I want to leave you with something that will make a difference in your life, even if it's only for the next 10 minutes. This will make a difference in your life if you decide it will. So creative insecurity, and also this release that I want to do is for people who are accustomed to self-abusing in any way. Abuse with food, abuse by harming themselves, or feeling depressed, or spending too much money, or being around toxic people. Whatever that you have been doing to abuse yourself. I know lots of ways to abuse myself and keep myself in some kind of little prison, but I just have refused to do that any longer. And so this is about looking at the collective wounds of your heart. How has your heart been wounded? And how has that turned you inward? And how has that kept you from connecting and receiving love from other people in your life? And kept you from giving love in this creative insecurity cycle you got going? And I hope I'm not just speaking crazy stuff. I hope you can understand me. So we're going to do a release. This is what we do. This is the blueprint. This is the sacred pattern of recognizing, releasing, and then restoring. And so with the release that I'm going to do, I'm also doing a restoration of energy, meaning just harmonizing and bringing things back into completion so that you feel complete, I hope. All right, so take a deep breath. Ooh, and do some good box breathing or some slow breathing, right? In slow through your nose. Hold and then out. Just keep breathing. This is always the best way to calm your body down, always. So for you, on your behalf, and with your permission, we extract and release the ancestral program inherited for self-abuse, for self-hatred, for hardship, and for victim martyr beliefs, patterns, or programming, along with any rituals, agreements, contracts, secrets, curses, or beliefs of any kind from your forebears, as well as from any of your offspring or any relatives that may be affected by this program, forward through time, backwards in time, and across the bloodlines. Together we eliminate the collective wounds of the heart, the grief, the loss, the mourning of loved ones, and the loss of leaving whatever place you were at before you came here. Eliminating the plague of depression, of creative insecurity about moving forward, self-abuse, self-harm, self-neglect, substance abuses, and all negative cords of the past to your parents or grandparents, or from whatever this family energy originated back to before the generation, before time was even recognized. Rebuking all adversarial influences or abusive networks, weapons or miasms that are anchored in on and feed on the tragedy and despair of the past. Casting away any negative controlling cords or confounding or unwelcome energy that have been passed on from your parents or your grandparents or from whatever family line this offensive energy originated. Dissolving all programs of worthlessness, failure, abandonment, scarcity from every cell of your being. dissolving the damage and restoring the DNA blueprint in every cell of your body, in every organ, bone, and gland, and from all tissues, eliminating self-abuse from each chakra and meridian point in every realm of your being and existence, aligning your being with truth and light, inviting you to reclaim your body's original imprint and coding, inviting you to command your brain to heal, inviting the healing power that is in all light and goodness to fill you, to reorganize, to harmonize, and to bless you in every possible way with love and light. Now take a deep breath. And just take a moment to let whatever what no longer serves you, to take a hike and to breathe it out, breathing in slow, breathing out, exhaling slowly and controlled. And just keep breathing. And see if you can notice any part of you that might feel a little relief or a lot of relief. Just notice what it feels like to let go, to surrender, and to accept beauty and light and goodness. Keep breathing for a minute. And at the Energy Healing Conference, I'm going to be offering the Healer's Blueprint like I always do. And that is a powerful education tool with workshops and other things to support you. But I'm also offering a new class, an Energy Healing 101 class, to help people who might want to go on and study other modalities, other methods, to just have a little bit more foundation. It's the things that I teach to people who come and to want to learn the blueprint and need a little bit of help if they're brand new. So offering that class, it's a $200 class, and I'm offering it for $97. And if you're listening to this, then you can have it for half price. It's yours for half price, even from that. So you'll have it for $50 if you want it. Just have to message me and it's yours. There's a link on my website. By the time you see this, you can go to my website and there'll be a link called Spring of 23, Spring 23. Okay. And you can use that code to get that price, Spring 23. And that's just for those who are listening to this. So thank you. Thank you for joining me. And thank you, Tammy, for helping us. And if you want that Energy 101 class or the Healer's Blueprint, go to tampendleton.com. And thank you. It's all yours, Tammy.
Sorry, I was just eating crackers.
Those are fun to.
Like, oh crap, it's my turn. I'm pretty sure I have stuff in my teeth.
Okay,
so I'm just gonna say thank you so much for being on here today, and I look forward to seeing you at the conference on Saturday. I apologize. I'm like, oh my gosh.
No, sorry for sneaking up on you.
It's okay. I just don't want to like gross anybody out because these are green lentil crackers. Okay, so the conference, you guys, if you do not yet have tickets, please go ahead and send me an email, Tammy@hopehavenevents.com, and we'd be happy to hook you up with some tickets. It's going to be a great experience. Okay, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time.
Love the lentils. See you Saturday.
Eat healthier. Okay, thank you. See you guys.